Years in the making. Mari can tell you about the many different stages the book has been through, but we are finally here for the release of Extreme Healing. Yay. Yes. One of my several careers has been as a librarian. And when I was working in the library, they would say to me, oh, you know, e-books are the fastest growing category of books. And I'd go, yeah. I'm kind of a dinosaur that way. Then I discovered you can read on your e-reader, on your phone. You can read at night, not turn your lamp on to wake your partner up. So I decided ebooks were really, really pretty good. However, to me, it is such a wondrous thing. It's such an inviting thing and a very democratic thing to have a print book in your hand. And now you all have I'm also one of Mari and our good friend Charlene. Don't talk to her too much because she's not, her jaw hurts. But we write together. So we have been learning about writing together and writing separately. Writing can be lonely, and sometimes the lonesome thing is what you want. But when it goes on and on and on, you're reaching to finish that thing. You're going. Sometimes you need a little something to help you keep going. So, in a minute, we're going to give Mari a very nice visual appreciation of her work, and I'll tell you how. Okay. Also, we are thrilled to be here at Twin Cities in Motion Center. Twin Cities in Motion Center, this is their new office, and which they share with some other endurance nonprofits. Endurance nonprofits! There's more than one! That blew me away, but I thought, hey, that's good. This is, we're told this is kind of their first event in the new space, so we are very proud, we're very privileged to be here, we're very glad. And I would like to introduce to you the Vice President in charge of community engagement of Twin Cities in Motion Center. They're still working on the title. It's my pleasure to introduce Allison Greenlee.
You get that, Scott? VP? You're not shy of the limelight, are you? So yes, thank you. I am Allison Greenlee. I'm not the VP of Community Engagement, but this is a position that is growing because we are really excited to be in this new space. So just a real quick overview. I don't want to take any time away from Mari. But yeah, we moved into this space in April. We share this space with Mile My Shoes, Girls on the Run, and Brave Like Gabe. And so our intent is to just bring the running community together, definitely more affordable for nonprofits to share a space like this, but also the collaboration and community that we can have, and that's what this night is all about. When we were contacted by Mari about using this space, it was like, yes, this is what we want to do. Running, movement, authors, books, educational programming, this is all what we expect to come in this space over the next year and grow. So we really want to reach out and meet more people and really be inclusive of everybody in the running, walking, movement community. And so we're really working hard on that. Just a quick housekeeping thing. housekeeping, personal business thing. The restrooms are just down here, if anybody's looking. This is a large space. We have a big warehouse back there. And
Go this way.
yeah,
We can go around here.
yeah. So, yeah, I'd like to welcome you. Oh,
Yep.
That's Kathy.
No, right, yes.
Anybody
I don't have that many jobs.
so thank you for being here, and that you are correct. This is kind of one of our first gatherings of this sort. I did put a sign-up sheet back there. If you want to learn more about what we do and events that are coming up, please sign up and you can get our newsletter. So thank you.
Thank you.
So as I said, writing can be a long, lonely process. You are here because Mari appreciates so deeply the support she has got to do this book. So we're gonna show her a little love. We're gonna show Mari some love, okay? Now you all got your, well, mine was sparkling white, you know, untouched envelope. Now it's a work in progress, but we're gonna, Doug is gonna try to catch this. I've known Mari for several years now. Oh my God, she's tough. Oh my God, she radiates. Her smile, her energy, her uplift in everything she does, everywhere she goes. And it is no surprise, I think, to anyone at this room that even though it's taken years, we have got to this moment. So I'm gonna introduce to you, and as I do it, I want you to reach into that bag. And we are gonna whip out this book so Mari can see every single copy in the room and hold it high. Okay. My friends, oh wow! I give you the author of Extreme Healing, Miss Ruddy.
Oh my gosh, here we are. I just want, you know, some of you who've known me a long time, which is practically everybody, I like to cast magic wherever I go. And in order to cast magic, you must have a magic wand. So here it is. We are now encompassed in a glorious moment of love. One of my favorite poets is Rumi, of course. And he said, love is the bridge from us to everything. And if you just look around, and as you're looking at other people who are in this room, think in your head, I'm glad you showed up. I'm glad you made it here tonight. So just do that, just look around, and as you do that, glad you're here, glad you made it. Glad you're here, glad you made it. You showed up. Because you see, the thing is, I had to keep showing up. This book took me 12 years to write. And the reason it took me 12 years to write is that it started out as a self-help book. Because I like to teach. That's what I did starting at age 22. And I thought teaching was what I should write about because I'd run this company that taught people with type 1 or type 2 diabetes to be endurance athletes. And I was pretty good at teaching. And then I had this editor who happens to be here. And she read what I had written and she said, you know, every time you teach, you get a little boring. And I thought, dang. And her advice was, maybe you ought to do memoir and tell more personal stories. I'm like, oh, geez. I have to tell about the sexual abuse I experienced as a child. I have to tell about the 3 or more suicide attempts that I've made. I have to tell about the bankruptcy I filed. I have to tell the story of growing up with a man who had type 1 diabetes and almost died every single year of my childhood. I have to tell about having cancer multiple times. Who wants to hear about that? That's boring. Well, it turns out it's actually not. Turns out that's what actually makes me human. It's what bridges me to the entire rest of the world. Because as humans, we suffer. We all have some burden that we deal with, that we manage, that we walk with. It's just we're somehow trained not really to ever talk about it. We just show up. And thankfully, I am really grateful that I learned kind of early to hear my inner wisdom. I was pretty dissociated and pretty not connected to my body in any meaningful way as a child because it wasn't safe to be in my body. And when I got to be about 30, the endocrinologist said, "You're on the fast track to death." I was like, "Great. What can I do about that?" And she said, I really don't know. I said, "I'm going to find a new doctor." So I did. And one of the key things is that I learned that I needed to actually get in my body. And it turns out I don't have a lot of athletic talent. I'm not fast, like a couple of really fast people we have in this room. In fact, I'm a 12 to 13, sometimes even 14-minute miles of running. And it takes me about 8 to 9 almost hours to do a 100-mile bike ride, but I've done a lot of them because I like biking. And I love running, which I didn't discover till a few years ago. And it turns out that moving your body requires that you get in your body. And when you get in your body and you listen and you hear the message that your body has for us, is your whole life improves. Like it's like, oh, there's a lot of wisdom in this body. And I learned to actually love this body in all of how it is, in all that it has suffered. And it turns out that actually I have something to offer because of that wisdom. And yeah, exactly. And over the years, with lots of really good editors, I crafted a map. And I found a publisher, and turns out I met Asul in 1996. And he said he read it, so I had switched from self-help to memoir. And then Asul read it and he said, "This is self-help." And I was like, "Really? That's what I wanted." And he said, "Yeah, well, let's just work on it a little bit. Let's just kind of craft this, let's move it around, and you have a map." And I was like, dang, I love maps. As you'll know, I show up to all my runs with a map. I'm like, yeah, where's the map? Where are we running today? And that's what I offer in this book. And one of my early teachers, who was a therapist, who held space for me to do holotropic breath work, her partner, who also shared and held space for me, he came up with the name Extreme Healing. Because the idea is that there's nothing halfway about me. I'm extreme. So true, right? Right? And my mission in this life is to heal. And I chose this life before I even got here. I chose all of the horrible things that has happened to me. All of it, including cancer number 3. What the fuck? Who chooses cancer 3 times? But apparently I did. And it's because there's a lesson for me in this. And one of the deepest lessons is to really feel the love that is here for all of us, including me. So in the book, I take you on a journey. I talk about how you find motivation, how you find inspiration, how you examine and confront your fears, how you move through those fears, how you craft a team around you. There's nothing we do in this lifetime alone. So many of you, how many of you know me from running? Yeah, how many of you know me from biking? Woohoo, there's some good biking people, yeah? How many of you know me from triathlon? Yeah, exactly. So those connections really matter, and you do them together. So that's part of what's in there, and you'll have fun reading it. Now here's the deal. I'm gonna play the cancer card. And how many of you got the email that I sent out today telling you about in the 99-cent book? Yes, good, go. So if you open your book, there is a little tiny card that has a QR code. Oh, apparently I don't have one in here. But it's a tiny little card that looks like this, and that QR code will take you to Amazon, where you can buy my ebook for 99 cents. And I want you to do that, which is sort of a little bit, all of you have supported me by buying this book a year ago. And what you do is buy it on Kindle, and you do not actually have to have a Kindle. You do not have to like Amazon, because a number of you probably don't. Ara, how easy was it?
It was very easy.
Yep, Ara doesn't like Amazon. She doesn't have a Kindle, and she was able to buy it for 99. It was $1.08, I think, with the tax. And then you can write a review. And Ara wrote a review today. Woohoo! First review. So my goal is that 25 of you will write a review by Monday, which is kind of intense.
I like a deadline.
Monday.
How long does it have to be?
It can be a few sentences. And then you're wondering, well, I haven't read the book by Monday. Here's the deal. I'm going to set my timer right now for 3 minutes.
Oh my god.
No, here's what you're going to do. Here's what you're going to do.
I have my reading lesson.
You are
right
going
here.
to read for 3 minutes right now. Get your book out. And I'm going to tell you where to read.
Oh.
Okay? So, choice number 1, read the table of contents and pick anything that looks good to you. So anything you want is choice number 1. Choice number 2, page 50. There's a good little story on page 50. It's about why survivors are good endurance athletes. Option number 3 is page 249. And that is the story of how I chose this life. Oh yeah, some good options, I'm telling you. So those are your 3 options. And I'm going to set my timer for 3 minutes. And a lot of people in here are educators. So you know about silent sustained reading.
Oh. My favorite. My favorite.
We are just going to quietly read for 3 minutes.
Okay.
Question?
Is there a quiz after
No
this?
quizzes. No quizzes. No quizzes for sure. Don't worry. No quizzes. It'll just give you enough of a flavor of how I write and how I wrote to give you an idea if you can give me a 5-star review or not. I'd be okay with 4. Even 3 would be better than nothing. All right, 3 minutes. Here we go. amazing how much you can read in 3 minutes? So my hope is that reading for 3 minutes gave you an idea of what's in this book. And my hope is that you are willing to write a review by Monday. And yes, I will send you a lot of emails. One of the things my publisher Azul told me today is that I have to get a commitment to bug you. Okay? So here's what I'm wondering. If you are willing for me to bug you from now till Monday, raise your hand and I'm gonna take a picture.
You want to stand with them?
I love it! I love it! All right, we'll be right up. Yep. You got him, you got him. Doug's done a lot of marathons. And we're type 1 buddies. Yep, good stuff. So the thing is, the reason that the reviews matter is it boosts my sales, which then translates to one of my goals with this book. So the goal for me of this book is to inspire people who aren't really athletes to become athletes and to think of themselves as athletes instead of victims of their life circumstances. So it's a mental shift from I'm a victim of what has happened to me, or I'm a creator to what I can make out of my life in spite of what has happened. And that's what athletics for me has done. That's why I'm so committed to calling myself an athlete. And when I got this third cancer diagnosis on October 11, I said to myself, I am an athlete. And I have to take these really weird pills that just shut down all estrogen in my body. Turns out estrogen's kind of handy. Even those of us who are postmenopausal, estrogen's kind of nice. It lubricates joints, it helps you sleep. I'm not doing either of those very well since being on this, but I took one of these stickers and I stuck it on the letrozole pills. So every time I take one of those pills in the morning, I say to myself, oh yes, I am an athlete who is starving those cancer cells into oblivion. So it's visualization and the identity that I am an athlete who takes charge. And my endocrinologist and my oncologist, who don't actually officially know each other, but they do communicate, both of them said it's entirely possible that I have had this cancer in my body festering for the last 5 to 7 to 10 years. Anne, where are you? You heard her say that.
I'm the witness.
And it was like, really? And she's like, yeah, but you're so healthy. Because, I mean, who else is, I am really healthy. And she's like, you keep doing everything you've been doing. And it turns out in the last 2 years, I went from having osteopenia to having completely healthy bones because of all the running and all the weightlifting. So you can turn around everything. You just have to make a decision to move forward in that way. So share the book with whoever you think needs to get moving. I know a lot of you are athletes already here, and you probably know some people who maybe aren't, that you wish they would get moving. I was at the post office because I had to mail 113 sets of books because there were 200 of you who were my backers. Thank you. Thank you. I know. Amazing. And I went to 3 different post offices because I didn't want to block the line with all my books because I like to be nice to the other people waiting in line at the post office. So I had one of the books out, and the post person who was checking them all in, she's like, oh, these are all books. I'm like, media rate, much cheaper. And she said, well, what's your book about? So I started telling her, and then all the people in line behind me, because there were a lot of people in line, were like, oh, I need that book. And they all took a picture of it, and they said, oh yeah, I said, it's 99 cents tomorrow on Kindle. And they're like, oh, I'm gonna get it. I'm going to share it with all the people I need. And I was like, okay, I'll just go to the post office and sell books. You just never know. So I got the picture of you. I will send lots of reminders. And it's not, the first 25 who send me a screenshot of your review will get to go to a special Zoom call with me where we'll talk in a small group. That's your reward. I know, you gotta have rewards. All right, program is done. So in the spirit of love, before you leave, get a minimum of 5 hugs. And Charlene, for you, 1. Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody. That's the end. Mix and mingle. Have fun. We made it. Thank you. So yeah, just mix and mingle, and then have some more snacks. Finish all the snacks.